Yo, it's 5-0. Anyways, 5 things I wish I knew before I started riding. Of course, I haven't been riding for super long. I'm still very much a beginner. So I just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. I feel like a lot of my content just revolves around me just kind of like riding to and from and just kind of chatting about the things around me. Today we're going to do a little bit of a different video and we're going to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before I started riding. So, number 1, confidence is key. So when you're learning to ride, and you can kind of put this in most things that you're wanting to learn, confidence is going to be the most fundamental part of learning to ride. The way my boyfriend puts it whenever I started riding was 90% of it is mental and 10% of it is basic skill. Basically what that means is if you don't think you can do something, you're gonna psych yourself out of it. You can really kind of stunt your learning when you constantly are just thinking, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. If you want to learn, you can do it. It just comes with time, and you just have to understand that. It just comes with time. You're gonna get it down, and just having the confidence to just, do it. Understand that yes, you may get hurt, you may fall while you're learning, but just doing it, having the confidence to just do it, and understanding that is going to make a world of difference. I struggled with the confidence to do it for a very long time. My boyfriend would always tell me, like, you have it down, like, you can do it. It's just you psych yourself out of it and you just stop. At the end of the day, it is just a big pedal bike, motorized pedal bike. Number 2, taking a class is not going to be the final be-all learning that you're going to have. Taking a class is definitely going to help you get that basic skill down and everything, but continuing to practice after the fact and being put in real life situations like riding on the road or, going to the parking lot, continuing to practice your skills is where you're going to have the most success in your riding and learning. I definitely learned a lot. Okay. Class is going to help you get the basics of operating your bike, where the controls are, how to start, how to go, where your friction zone is, things like that. But you have to continue to practice that. You're learning, most of the time when you're in a class, you're learning on a flat surface. There's not a single road that's completely flat, doesn't have a turn, doesn't have a small incline. There's so many different things that play into riding. That is not going to be the final learning. I learned so much more by actually being on the road, getting tips from my boyfriend who rides and things like that. Having a friend, help you is super, super beneficial. And just going out to the parking lot, just keep practicing. I went from parking lot to riding at night to now I can ride to work and ride confidently on the road and kind of be prepared for most situations that you're going to be potentially put in when it comes to road situations. Number 3, people are going to have opinions. People are going to have opinions. They're going to have opinions about how you ride, what you ride, things like that. But it's taking the constructive criticism out of those opinions. These people aren't trying to judge you or make you feel bad or anything like that. They're just honestly just trying to make sure that you're safe and teach you things that, they found helpful. And yeah, sometimes in the manner that they say it isn't always the greatest, but at the end of the day, we're all just a community here and we're just trying to help others. There was a lot of, when I first started making content and everything, there was a lot of people who would say different things, and sometimes I get a little frustrated by that. I'm not even gonna lie, like sometimes I get a little frustrated by their comments, but at the end of the day, you are a beginner biker, they are not, and they're just trying to look out for you. Oh my god, I'm getting fucking absolutely obliterated by these leaves. It's so windy. So, taking the criticism of other people is going to help you a lot in your journey of learning to ride, because like I said, it kind of falls back on my other point of, a class isn't going to be the final thing you learn, like the final, oh, I took a class, I could go on the road now and, pop a wheelie. You're mostly going to learn from being in those situations and, having friends and the community help you along the way. I always say, like, just take the criticism, try it while you're riding, and if it's not comfortable for you, just don't do it again. Number 4, you have more control over the bike than the bike has over you. Another thing I struggled with whenever I was learning was thinking that this thing had a mind of its own, that it was just going to take off on me and I was going to be sitting there watching it fly away from me. I struggled a lot with, like, you know, thinking that this was just like a crazy little death machine, and me as a 5'2" person was not going to have any control over it and what it does. You have more control over the bike and what it does than it has over you. The bike's gonna want to stay up. It's gonna want to stay straight. It's gonna want to go. So it's gonna help you, you know, get to the maneuvers that you want to get to. But at the end of the day, when it comes to turning, swerving, everything like that, you have more control over the bike. And if you want to stop it, just pull in that clutch. You want to just take all the power out of it. That's how easy it is to take power away from the bike. And understanding that is going to help you build your confidence, especially when you're learning to ride, is understanding that you can just cut the engine off, slow down, cruise a little bit, and go back whenever you're ready. This is a machine that you operate, not a machine that controls you. Respect what it's capable of, respect its power, always respect your bike, but understand that at the end of the day, you control yourself more than this bike controls you and what it does, and it's going to keep you and people around you safer having that knowledge and understanding that and having that confidence. My final and last point, number 5, which is ride your own ride. You're going to hear this a lot whenever you're learning to ride. It means kind of like a spectrum of things. A lot of the times you see people say it, and it can mean, you know, don't let someone pressure you into doing something that makes you uncomfortable. Don't ride don't ride outside of your means. Don't ride outside of your skill. If you're not comfortable, if you're not ready, don't do it. It's okay. Ride your own ride. You're not here to impress anybody, so riding the way that makes you most comfortable is going to be the most beneficial, the most fun, and, you know, not stressful because you're like sitting there like, oh, I have to impress these people. No, you know. It also means, you know, there's people who will be like, oh, well, why didn't you start out with a bigger CC bike? If you want a lower CC bike, that's fine. If you want a big CC bike, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, ride your own ride. Respect your ride, respect other people and their rides as well. And honestly, that's kind of what I take away from ride your own ride. You know, ride within your means, ride with what's comfortable for you, but also respect other riders and respect what they ride as well. That's kind of like my 5 things I wish I knew whenever I started riding. I'll kind of end the video with, like, you know, a little about me, because I know for most of you, I just kind of showed up one day. I just started kind of making videos one day. But yeah, so a little bit about me. My name's Lexi. Kind of pretty obvious, Moto Lexi. My name is Lexi. I'm 21 years old. I'll be 22 this year. I bought my bike back in March. I took my first set of classes in the beginning of April. I finished my courses like the first 2 weeks of April. Got my license, continued practicing, and probably didn't actually start riding by myself till maybe the end of April, beginning of May. Also, I'm near Pittsburgh. I'm about 40 minutes outside of the city, 40 minutes to an hour depending what part of the city. I also work in the city on the weekends. A lot of you guys see my videos and recognize Route 22, which is the main road that I take to go down to Pittsburgh. I work a lot. I have a Red Bull addiction, which I feel like a lot of you have already figured out at this point. My boyfriend, his name is Matt. He also makes YouTube videos. His YouTube is OKK Murph. My boyfriend was the one who really got me into motorcycles and taught me how to ride. I've wanted a bike for about 2 years before I got mine. My boyfriend rides, like I said, so that kind of really pushed me over being like, I want a bike, you know? We are going to start making moto couple vlog content here in the near future, which is going to be super exciting. We already have so many plans and fun videos planned for that here in the near future. We're going to take you guys along for some rides, different places we go, things like that. So that's going to be exciting. That's kind of a little bit about me and my life or whatever.